Okay, it's been a long time since I've done one of these. I got occupied with school. Okay, that's an excuse. I was distracted by not only school, but I was also distracted by other things, entertainment. Um, so I haven't done one of these in a little while. I haven't. Yeah. Anyway, I know I'm almost a year after the announcement of Come Follow Me. Before I started doing this. And I can make excuses. I'd love to make excuses, but it doesn't change anything. Um, I haven't dedicated as much time to pondering on the scriptures in the past, how long has it been? 2 years? As what I need to. Um, so I mean, this week, the Come Follow Me lesson, it starts with, 1 Corinthians chapter 14. So it's 1 Corinthians chapter 14, 15, and 16. And so I guess I'll just break these down, video by video. So, listening to chapter 14 today. And, so this is Paul talking about, so after he's talked about, spiritual gifts, he talked about, um, uh, charity in chapter 13, chapter 14. Um, it talks about the gift of tongues versus prophecy. And the language that Paul uses is very different. And in the King James Version of the Bible, I think it's harder to understand. I think I'll go back to, I'll look at NIV and ESV and see what I can gather from there. But just from listening to the King James Version and reading the King James Version of the Bible, from what I can gather is he's talking about how, you know, if you're praying and speaking in tongues without the understanding of that, then it's really not profiting anybody. Not that he's not discounting the gift of tongues. Um, I think he's just saying that, um, because he says in this chapter that he would that we have the gift of tongues, that we do speak in tongues, but that we also have the understanding of it. So how can we give thanks in tongues if we can't understand it, if someone else can't understand it? How can we teach in tongues if there's no understanding of what we're speaking? So I guess that could be interpreted, tongues could be interpreted as dialects. It could be interpreted as unknown or unheard tongues. But I think it's important that an important distinction Paul makes is that without the understanding, it doesn't profit anyone. But he also says that signs like speaking in tongues could be a way to bring in unbelievers. It's for the benefit of people that don't already have faith or the testimony of Jesus Christ. So anyway, I naively misunderstood what the gift of prophecy really is. And I remember meeting with a guy who, when I was a missionary, this is something I'll never forget. And I wish I could go back and have the conversation different and try to understand him a little better. But he was saying that he had the gift of prophecy, which, why not? Just because he wasn't a member of the church, he still had faith and a belief in Jesus Christ. Doesn't mean that he's not entitled to the gift of prophecy. I think the contrary, he is. But I think what I'm getting at is Paul's teaching that the gift of prophecy is for the edification, the upliftment, the benefit of those that already have a belief and faith in Jesus Christ. And I think the Corinthians at the time they were just kind of getting away from that. And I don't know exactly. I'd have to do more research, but I don't know exactly why he felt the need to correct them on the gifts of prophecy and the gift of tongues. But um, I guess what I'm getting at is this has taught me, or reminded me rather, that the gift of prophecy is a gift of the Spirit, and the Spirit is not exclusive to um, to the prophet, not exclusive to the stake president, the bishop, the elders quorum president. The gifts of the Spirit are entitled to those that have the Spirit and have a testimony of Jesus Christ for the uplifting of those that both are believers and are non-believers. And I think that's what I'm taking away from chapter 14 of Corinthians. And so that's the end of that. Yeah, don't have any other thoughts.